Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice. We've been receiving a ton of recommendations for Corey Taylor, so I'm going to check out something from his debut solo album, CMFT. This song's story, in particular, is super sweet. Corey wrote it for his wife about her first trip to London. So I'm looking forward to hearing some sappy rock. Let's get to it. I like the way that we are clearly drawn into a memory, and yet we haven't actually seen any scenes from London. Right? We heard talk about Trafalgar Square and Hyde, and these are, big monuments or places in London. But clearly he's not in London, right? In the house somewhere, it looks pretty distinctly to me like it's probably somewhere in America, but it could be in a lot of different countries. The footstep that sort of shook him and took him back to his room gives you that idea, though, of traveling through memories, which is really, really lovely. The harmonies that we just heard, I don't know if that's the chorus or not yet. We'll see. But especially on I Fall For You, the layering of the vocals is really pretty. And I like that to me was the sort of thickest vocal layering we've heard so far as well. Made that really stand out. And it made the little sappy part of me go, yeah, fall for her. Essentially, back to the beginning. I dig the strength in his voice, especially the fact that in his lower vocals, he still has a lot of punch through with him. He's got good enunciation that's going on. And then it's actually quite pretty to hear some of these cleans up on top. He's known for, I think, having more aggressive vocals at times. And these are actually shockingly pretty, a lot prettier than I was anticipating. Also, I just love the callback to different scenes in London. And this reminds me of the first few times, a couple times I visited was with English National Opera, singing Traviata there, and, going up different tube stations and seeing the Traviata poster on the side it's incredible. London is such an amazing city, and English National Opera is a wonderful company to work with. And then more recently, I got to take my husband there for the first time, and seeing his awe at London and, getting to see it again through his eyes, and the experience that he was having was just so wonderful. So it's a super sweet memory for me too, when I hear Corey talking about falling for somebody maybe that was experiencing London for the first time. Let's keep going.
Behind the trees in front of Golden Gates, I would never bow into the hands of fate. Consternation in the middle of my chest. You know me better than the ones who know me best. I know that there's no other way. I know that there is nothing more that I can say. Make my black eyes blue. I fall for you. London eyes that get
So fascinating how they've shot this inside of, it almost feels like a time loop and frustration, maybe, breaking of things. There's other things going on that I don't feel like I've completely grasped yet in this storyline. It definitely is giving me different layers. And Golden Gates makes me think San Francisco. Maybe he's referring to another site in London. I'm not sure. I'm going to go back a little bit, though, and look again at some of the vocals here. I love the entrance of those harmonies.
Russian looks. Oh, this winter wind is all it took. Lights are coming up just as the sun is going down. The sentiment and all of it is all I want. I need you now.
It's something about the way he enunciates his consonants has continuity with the little bit of rasp that I hear in his voice as well. A lot of times consonants that have a little bit more sibilance, like an S, or there's various consonants appear brighter within a spectrogram. If you're looking sort of as a visual representation of sound from low frequencies to high frequencies, sometimes you'll look inside of a spectrogram and you can see brighter areas where there's more sound energy coming through. And so I think that wherever that buzz of his distortion is, it reminds me sometimes of the enunciation of certain consonants in here. He has really nice enunciation that doesn't feel overblown. It still feels casual at times, but it's very active, and it really goes and continues the drive of his voice throughout. So I don't get dips in energy or line as we're going through. Let's go back a little bit more.
London eyes that give me for you. London eyes that give me Russian looks. Oh, this winter wind is all it took. Lights are coming up just as the sun is going down. The sentiment and all of it is all I want. I need you now.
And I hear also a certain smile space that's in there. So he's got a balance of the tone that's happening. You're right. I hear nice pitches being created down at the true vocal folds. Wacka, 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 pitch created. Yes, beautiful. It happens. And then you go up a little bit further and we tend to get up more of our grit from up there if it's created in the correct way. And then those two things already have a certain balance on them, right? With like a pure tone or a pure pitch, a little bit of distortion on it. So we've got this balance here. And then he's got some bite and snarl in the sound where I hear a certain directness in his approach. He gets the sound out there. He gets it lasered out. It's clear to us. And then back behind there, I hear, it sounds like a lot of lift as well, or like a smile in the back of the space here, which gives us an additional brightness and some warmth at the same time. So again, that's creating lots of balance in the sound. Some singers will go for something that doesn't have as much balance in it, and it'll become very distinguished, very unique in the sound as well. But in general, a lot of voice lessons will guide a student in finding more balance in tone. Ultimately, I think this is a personal preference, right? What kind of sound do you like to hear and would you like to create as a singer? And I think you can then learn how to open up certain different areas of the voice to get closer to the kind of sound that you would like to have the most. I like the way he's developed his sound in particular, though, with regards to balance in different areas. Let's go back and then keep going.
Intimate and all of it is all I want. I need you now. We all need a little red on the horizon, baby. We all live and breathe.
Oh, I'm gonna go back to that part. There was a little bit of, it was like a tiny bit of bringing in some falsetto there, just like a little mix in of it.
Down the sentiment and all
pretty.
of it is all I want. I need you now. We all need a little red on the horizon, baby.
Might have just been head voice. It's pretty.
We all live and breathe.
Nice. Really clear tuning.
I know that there's no other way. I know that there is nothing more that I can say. Make my black eyes blue.
Whoa, that was some cool pitch bending in the part. Just stopped here. I was loving this counter melody that they have brought in during this chorus. I'm pretty sure this is the chorus now. Right, there's another line that he's added other than just the harmonies. And sometimes people will ask me what's the difference essentially between a counter melody and a harmony. Harmonies are going to be essentially following the main melody and finding ways to add different pitches to stack it up as if it were different chords. A counter melody is going to be something you could hear totally on its own that might be a different melody that's separate from the main melody. And so we hear that come in this part one more time.
I know that there is nothing more that I can say.
Right there.
Make my black eyes blue.
Cool. Wow. Ooh, feels a bit like a twister. I love that. It feels very twisted around, feels like you're in a whirlwind. The way that the pitches aren't super exact the whole time, but they still have precise centers is fascinating and also disorienting. Really cool. Wow. Nice high distortion here. Really, really nice. I love the emotion behind it. You can tell there's a lot of feeling that's behind that. And it's just also super sweet on the sentiment. What you make me live, you make me breathe. Aw, I love that. Especially for somebody who I think sometimes we think of rock vocalists or metal vocalists as being like just harsh people, but I discovered, especially last year when we went to Bloodstock, which was my first metal festival I ever attended, that a lot of metalheads or people who love rock, like they're just so soft and teddy bear on the inside. They have so much love and passion, and it's really wonderful to have this within this context, which, right, there's some wonderful ferocity within this music. But then you have these lines like, you make me breathe, right? The passion in it is so real and the love is so true. I really like that. Back a little bit. Yeah, really good distortion. wish this was so much longer. I've been spoiled by metal, meaning that I want songs that are like, that just let me bask in the glory of wonderful music for a long time, right? Songs that are going to be 6 or 7 minutes. I would totally listen to Corey's voice for a much, much longer time. Of course, I know that there's broadcast time and that most people like a shorter song. I feel like I've been spoiled by getting to listen to lots of longer songs more recently, and this is good, so I want to hear it more. I highly recommend to anybody that's listening to this video, you should go back and go to Corey's site and watch this video through on your own. Just enjoy it. Maybe watch it through a couple more times, because it's important when you find a voice like this that is really wonderful and like so many different vocal layers in it as well that you can pick out each one. You should just go back through and listen to it over and over and over and appreciate the wonderful work that he is doing. Let's go back a little bit more. Especially this last fall was glorious. I love the vocal stacking. Yay. I just love it when the gruff tattooed hero literally falls on his knees for the girl. This song was a fantastic combination of sappy lyrics and passion, right? Once we got into the music, I heard so much more drive and like a certain, again, ferocity for love behind it. It was really, really cool to get those two combined and hear how it provided more layers to the story. If you would like to check out the first time that I ever heard Corey Taylor, you can find that in this video over here, and I'll hope to see you again very soon. Thanks.